Good evening, everyone. Thank you for being here. Actually, it's our second friendly this season, but at least our first friendly here at our school. Now that the two teams have had a chance to meet and shake hands, we can begin now the friendly competition. For those of you in the audience who are not really aware of what's going to be happening tonight, I'm going to do just a quick introduction. This will also help my exchange students who are here to get extra credit for their French culture class because they're coming in and attending an official debate under the basic rules of the French Debate Association. My name is Robert Bradford. I am the head of the English Language and Methods Department here at INSEEC Bachelor, Paris Business College, whatever it's called this week. I'm pleased to have a lot of you here, and I have an audience here because I think it's good. It's good for the spirit of the debate. It's good for the spirit of the school, and it's just good to have some friendly competition. This is called a debate, and I'm just going to explain what that involves for those of you who are watching it for the first time. It's really sort of verbal fireworks, it's sort of verbal jousting between two teams on opposite sides of a topic or a subject. In debating, we call it a motion, okay, that they're going to be debating against. There are certain rules of how we word a motion, and the THBT stands for this house believes that, and tonight's subject, the female is the deadliest of the species. Right? That's what we're going to be debating tonight. We have two teams. We have one team that is for the proposition that believes that, yes, the female is the deadliest of the species. Here. We call that the proposition team. And when we have a debate here, the rules are that the welcoming team is always the proposition. You get to start the debate, which is a strategic point, but the opposition, who I will be introducing next, they get to finish the debate, which is also a very strategic position. There are different positions, first speaker through the fifth speaker, and tonight we are going to have Nicolas, first speaker, the Prime Minister, followed by Nicolas. I'm finishing with the only female on our team, Divya. Now on the other side, we have the illustrious team from HEC, who's here with us today. Actually, most of them don't believe, actually, that the female is the deadliest of the species. They're the opposition. They are against this particular motion. And I guess we'll be starting off with Bethel. Followed by Simon Pierre. Then followed by the only female on their team, Cecilia. Afterwards, we'll hear from Jeremy. And finally, the debate will be finished with the speech from Matthew. Okay. All right, so you have the motion, you have the teams. You also have a reason to be here, which is one team does want to win. They want to be chosen the winner. And the way we do that is that we have a jury. Right? Generally, during the FDA official tournament, the jury is made up of former debaters and coaches from the other teams in the French Debating Association. But on friendly debates, we kind of go a little bit friendlier. So, I some invite people that I know and friends that I want to be here. And as it turns out, we do have a majority of the feminine gender in the jury today. So I'll start with ladies first. First, I'd like to introduce Iman Taleb, who is a former FDA debater. now working in finance at the Saffron Corporation, followed by Christina Rotaru, who was our admissions director who handles a lot of the exchange students that are sitting in the audience. And presiding, or at least sitting in the middle, I'd like to introduce Mr. Gus Gillen, who is former English teacher, former colleague of mine, and is now a management consultant. Okay, so we have the team, we have the proposition, we have the opposition, we have the motion, we have me. I'll be the chairman, pretty much here to call up the speakers and to make sure that all the regulations are followed. And we do have some regulations. And just for you to know, each person will be doing a 5-minute speech. Everybody will speak for 5 minutes. In debating, for those 5 minutes, 2 of the minutes are protected, meaning the other team cannot interrupt you during those minutes. It's always the first minute and the last minute. For the 3 minutes in between, the other team or the speaker may be interrupted by one of the opposing team members. To do that, they have to ask permission. Okay, we call it a point of information. And if they would like to interrupt the speaker to ask a question, you know, sort of a point of question, they need to either stand up and extend their hand and go, point of information. The speaker, of course, may either accept or reject. We try to keep it generally nice and friendly, you know, yes, go ahead, or no, thank you, or, you know, we try to avoid slapping hands down, like, no way, we try to keep it, you know, sort of very nice and polite. Question in the back.
Are the use of firearms permitted?
Yes, this is a room where firearms can be taken along, no problem. The points of information is the only time that they can interrupt. The last part of the equation is, of course, the audience. And you are not expected to remain passive. You can show your enthusiasm. You can certainly, you know, laugh if something's funny, if something's sad, applaud if you like what you have. But if you want to say something, you have the choice of 2 types of expressions. If you agree with what you hear, if you like what you're saying, if you want to support your team, if you want to give them support, you can say 2 words together, which is hear, hear. Hear, hear. Can we practice that? Hear, hear. Well, we can do it all together now. Hear, hear. Hear, hear. Good. All right. If you disagree with what is being said, or if you want to throw off the other team, if you want to sort of disturb them, you just need to say the word shame and draw out those vowels, like going shame. Okay, there we go. I think we've got the idea. Personally, I don't see any reason why we cannot continue. I just want to give 2 rules. We do have a microphone. It's not turned on. Usually we don't need it. However, it is available if you want. We can turn on the microphone underneath if you want to have you have a sore throat or you won't be able to speak. I haven't turned it on yet. Also, we live, our school is in a residence, so you're not allowed to hang out in the courtyard, you know, and smoke and hang and scream and yell and make a lot of noise. After the debate, the jury will go next door to deliberate. We're going to have a little cocktail at the same time, you know, a little chips and dips and whatever. Not quite sure what they have prepared for us, but I'm sure it'll be fine. If you want to leave, if you want to smoke, I would suggest that you go and smoke out, you know, on Boulevard Excellence with all of the auto exhaust, you know, that will be out there. And just remember that at this point, the doors are locked, okay? It is left open. So if the door closes behind you, make sure that someone is waiting for you to get yourself back in, okay? Because I don't have it, you know, I'm not important enough yet to have a key to the entire building. Okay, so without further ado, how do I get this show on? Oh, I'm sorry. Please forgive me. I forgot the most important person in this room who's now sitting next to me, the lovely Howla. Who is our bell girl, all right? She's the one that's going to be informing the speakers of when their protected time is over by ringing a bell. Howla. let's try this end.
Okay.
Around. It's my cowbell from Oregon. You know, I brought it all the way from where I grew up. Okay, you know. I'll just show you how the farmers do it. Back and forth. Like that. This way you'll certainly be able to hear it. That'll be after the first minute. After the fourth minute, hold the hand. Yeah. That's good enough. And after the first minute, after the fourth minute, and around 5:15, if people are going over, you will slightly let them know. Okay. So with that said, I'd like to now start the debate by bringing up the first speaker for the proposition, Nicolas.
Dear Mr. Chairman, deadly pale girl, esteemed members of the jury, members of the opposition, fellow members of the government, righteous audience, good evening. This house believes the female is the deadliest of the species. Male and female. Besides the obvious physical differences, we are two distinctive species. In our definition, species are a class of individuals having some common characteristic or qualities. We, the government, define female as a sex that can produce eggs, distinguished biologically by the production of gametes, which can be fertilized by male gametes. Female also refers to the entire animal and insect kingdoms. And you will agree that the lioness is the deadliest hunter. The black widow is the deadliest biter. The female mosquitoes transmit the deadliest diseases. But we won't spend the debate discussing the animal kingdom. Instead, we will mostly refer to the human female. Because, in addition to instinct, they have a brain. Which makes them doubly deadly. No, thank you. There is a duality in the definition of the word. Deadly either means life-threatening or very good and excellent. Over the centuries, females also have developed a duality in the way they behave. On the one hand, it is not pettiness. It is much more than that.
What information?
Yes, please?
Are you saying that you need a brain to kill?
No, I'm not saying that. I'm saying that male, just as female, have a brain. That's all, and I think everybody agrees. Their unreal grace is breathtaking. There is nothing more rare or beautiful. On the other end, there is an unmistakable danger about them. The deep blackness in their eyes gives no hint as to their thoughts. Their magnetism is irresistible, and we are all weaponless in the face of it. Beware of the presumed fragility of the female. There is no hope of escape. War is the only solution. Some members of the government have suggested that we do la grève du sexe. But women also prepared for this, as they have built sperm banks so they don't even need us anymore. We, biologically speaking, give women everything we have and produce millions and billions of spermatozoa. What do their body do with them? They flush them. Nobody wasted as many potential human beings as women do, without any remorse. Let's bring them to justice for their crimes against humanity. It has been proven that women have much better chance than a man of acquittal on a murder charge. And if she happens to be blonde, her chances rises by about 45%. How many women escape justice by using their irresistible assets? Let's bring them to justice for their crimes of war.
Point of information.
Yes, please?
Are you saying that if you're a woman, you need to be beautiful to rise?
No, I never said that. The Hague Convention of 1907 states that the hostilities between two powers must not commence without previous and explicit warning, in the traditional form of a declaration of war. I, as the Prime Minister of our government, hereby declare the Third World War. The Third World War. A war of genders between us, males, and the utterly dangerous female species. No, thank you. Therefore, I appoint all male troops in our world to come together and fight against our common enemy.
Here, here.
First, Antoine will share his thoughts about tactics used by the feminine gender. Second, our warrior, Maxime, will introduce you to the darkest side of women and how they will lead to the extinction of our species. Third, Yves Bernard will talk about a subject very dear to all of us: sex. Last, our deadly commander-in-chief will bring this debate to the ultimate level. So in the words of Valérie Trierweiler, merci pour ce moment, and please accept the motion.
Now I'd like to turn the floor over to the first speaker, the Shadow Prime Minister from the opposition, Bethel.
Good evening, Mr. Chairman, elegant timekeeper, esteemed colleagues of the government, distinguished members of the jury, and of course my deadly members of the opposition. Good evening to you and the beloved guests of the audience. Good evening to you and thank you for inviting us. Now, it is with the greatest regret that I must begin by informing you another homicide has taken place today. It has taken place in the unsavory neighborhoods of Detroit, Michigan, to the now annexed war-torn streets of Crimea. It has taken place in the favelas of Rio to the slums of Mumbai, some of the poorest areas in the globe. It has taken place right under the nose of our generation and in the backyards of our everyday lives. But, ladies and gentlemen, it doesn't matter where it takes place, nor does it matter whether you're black or white, young or old, Justin Bieber fan or not. What matters is the irrefutable fact that it is taking place at the hands of a male. 95% of deadly crimes globally are overwhelmingly perpetrated by males. So, whilst the first government in their duality argument said that females are deadlier than males in that respect of killing, no. The reality today, here and now...
Word of information?
No, thank you. Is that males have the greater capacity to kill. Now, their definition, I want to comment on the definition, where they brought in this duality argument. They said females can be deadlier in one respect, which is more capable of killing, and in another respect, more accurate, something. But I'm an Australian. If we want to go on this side, then I could say that the pub I go to on a Saturday is quite deadly. So we want to define the word deadly, and that is the ability to kill by the Oxford Dictionary. Also, your definition of female we don't necessarily agree with. Female originates in the Latin word femala, meaning woman. So we would like to concentrate on the human species. After all, we don't want to hear how much you know about the animal kingdom and male otters viciously raping and drowning baby seals. Today, we want to speak about males. We want to speak about the dichotomy between males and females. Yes?
Can you please remind us what is the motion?
The motion is females are the deadliest of the species. Now, the government have made a couple of comments. They said, women get off on a murder charge easier than men. But one thing you didn't mention is how many women have actually stood on the stand. for a murder charge. All right, much less than men. You also talked about women genitalia. Now, and you mentioned that they flush eggs at an extraordinary rate. But do you know that male flushed sperm 4.5 billion in their lifetime, much more than a woman? So today we will prove to you why males are always the deadlier of the two. Yes.
But aren't we flushing spermatozoa because there isn't enough women to fertilize?
Here, here.
But we're killing sperm on a daily basis. That's deadly in itself. So today we will prove why males are always the deadlier of the two. I implore you to look at the facts. Let me ask you a few questions. How many females sit behind the world's worst genocide? How many compared to the Stalin, the Mussolinis, the Hitlers? How many are in the top 25 serial killers in the world by victims? Answer, all 0. Top 50, top 100, still 0. I give you this name, Aileen Wuornos. She sits outside the top 200. She's the worst woman serial killer in the world. She killed 6 people. She said she did it out of self-defense. My friends, we aren't saying that females aren't deadly, that they don't kill. What we're trying to say is that even when 1 out of 200, like Aileen Wuornos, do kill, it doesn't compare to the likes of someone who's more deadly, like Albert Fish, who said, "I like the children, they are tasty." The reality is males are offensive, women are defensive. We are the deadliest males.
Shame.
We will focus on 3 things today, our team. First, Simon, he will show you why males are culturally savage and women culturally gentle. And our perceptions of males are always deadlier through time. Second, Cecilia, she will shed light on why males are naturally impulsive and females naturally protective. Our motives. Third, Jeremy, he will explain to you why we are all dead because of males. And finally, Matthew, he will sum up our debate in 3 points, giving you a reason why the opposition are right. So to conclude, ladies and gents, I bid you to reject the government's motion in light of these words by Robert Oppenheimer, the person who created the nuclear bomb. I am become death, the destroyer of worlds. And he was a man. Thank you.
Now, I think we've started both cannons blazing. Now I'd like to bring up the second speaker for the proposition, Antoine.
Honorable Chair, beautiful Belger, dear members of the opposition, dear members of the government, honorable, wonderful, amazing, Terry, wonderful, good evening. This House believes that women are the deadliest of the species. What an interesting motion. And I must admit that this is true. Women are the deadliest. And I would like first, before starting my speech, coming back on what the opposition team has said. The opposition team has said that a lot of women, more men went to the court than men. But 4,500 males commit suicide compared to 1,400 female. It's not a question of fragility. It's only because women push the men to commit suicide.
Here, here!
Just because they have a lot of tactics to do it. And I'm going to talk about the tactics women use in order to be deadly. First, the blackmail. When I was 6, I remember the day I was living in Africa with my mother and my family, and it was very hot outside. I was playing football the whole day, and I was really hungry. And I asked my mom, "Please, can you cook me some food?" And do you know what she said? "Go and get your room clean and then you eat some food." She was about to let me die of hunger while I was hungry. But I'm sure I'm not the only victim of that. I'm sure all of you guys, every woman, happen to you. And this is something that did not only happen to me. It has been proved by a doctor called Susan Forward, explaining the control of relationship and the theory that fear, obligation, and care led by women. It is called emotional blackmail. Moreover, I would like to come back on what is called manipulation. My persuasion can build a nation. Endless power. The love we can devour, you will do anything from it. Does this remind you something? Beyonce! The world's women's leader, who believes that women rules the world. Just for news, do you know that Beyonce's sister tried to beat Jay-Z to death? Just for the news. Yes, alright.
Is he dead?
Actually, he did not, but his intention was to kill him, was to beat him. And this is the real proof. She maybe failed, but this was intention. And I'd like to come back. This proves that women does not only have emotional, but physical power over men also.
Here, here.
Here. However, I would like to come back to the victims of manipulation. When I was like 10, I asked my sister, with who do you want to get married? She said, I want to get married to a rich man. I told her why. She said, I'll get married to a rich man, get him to whatever I want, push him in the stairs, kill him, and get inherit from the woman, from the woman money again.
What information?
I refused, sorry. And I was like, sister, what's happening to you? Like, what's wrong? Why do you want to do that? And then, when I came back to INSEEC, and all of those schools I went to, she's not the only one saying that. A lot of women want to kill and get married, and rich people get rid of them. This is the proof that they're the deadliest of the spices once more. Further on. Women are tactical killers. We say that love is blind. Oh yeah. It is because women popped out the house of love. Juliet didn't kill herself because she was in love with Romeo. Patati, patata. It's just because her plan failed. Women will always use either love to kill you or to kill your career. Should I talk about Valerie Travailer? Oh, no, not Valerie Travailer. Monica Lewinsky and Bill Clinton, for example. She killed her career. Thanks to women. She made her career dear. There's the product take time, sorry. However, women will use love to kill you, either by making you broke or so deceived that you may commit suicide. In my case, my girlfriend left me. And I gave her back her things, but she didn't give me back anything. She kept my scarf, she kept my boxer, she kept everything with her, even my coat. And in this very cold evening, how am I going to dress? She wants to kill me. Believe me, she wants to kill me. And I'm not the only one victims of that. For example, women get married for one thing, not to get children or whatever, to get the divorce. Why? 80 out of 100 divorces in France, for example, are asked by women. And you know what's the most funny thing? Is that when they go to court, 70% of the judges are women. What a tactic. You know what happens even when you see movies? At the end, when the guy came back from the house, said, oh baby, where have you been? Go out of my house, I'm taking back the house. Well, I'm the one who bought the house. Why do you leave me? Why do you make me so alone? Then, he goes back on the street, in the cold night, with no scarves and no boxer. And then, he dies. Women are the deadliest of the spices. Merci pour ce moment.
Right, now we move over to the other side with our second speaker from the opposition.
Valuable members of the House, dear members of the government, distinguished Mr. Chairman, beautiful Ms. Timekeeper, distinguished member of the jury. There has been a misunderstanding. I hear the opposition and they're talking about violence. They're talking about manipulation. They're talking about women that want to beat up men. They talk about women that beat up men. But when I look around, what I see, do I see deadly, aggressive women ready to jump on me to kill me? No. What I see is welcoming faces of beautiful women. By the way, thank you for inviting us. It's really nice of you. And intention is not deadly. Violence may be deadly, but not all the time. Take the example of Beyonce, she failed. Take the example of Clinton and Trio Baylor. They failed too. They didn't kill the career of Clinton or Hollande. Maybe a lot of women want to kill their husband, they want to kill their boyfriend. But maybe it's because you live in a violent and a deadly environment. Because the statistics, as my fellow friend there said it, statistics prove you wrong. Here's how. No, thank you. It's in the culture that males are deadlier than women. And I think that you may have a wrong idea of what a woman is. Maybe it's a concept, it's a vague idea, but I don't date concepts. I don't bring concepts home, and I don't, I don't do concepts. Yeah. Because the females I know, and trust me, I know a lot, are gentle, they are nice. They are true loving princesses. They only live to defend what they cherish the most, the love of their lives. I'm going to take just one example, the Beauty and the Beast. And it's not just a cartoon for children, it's deeply rooted in our society. What we see in Beauty and the Beast, we see that males are offensive, deadly beasts, and that females are defensive, loving creatures. It's not just about the beast. It's Stalin, Hitler, Napoleon, Nero, Caligula, Decepticons, Jafar, thank you, Darth Vader, Voldemort. He's so scary, so deadly that people are afraid to say his name.
Point of information.
Yes, please.
But wouldn't have the beauty be deadly to the beast if she didn't have chosen to save him?
Well, look, I mean, the answer is in your question. She decided to save him because she's protective, she's defensive, she's not deadly. And look around you, it's in our culture, deeply rooted. Take the Greek culture, take the gods of the Greek culture. Athena, no thank you. Athena, god of the war, yeah, but protectress of the city. Protectress, defensive, she's a woman. Who's the god of war and destruction? Ares, a male. You're not convinced? The god of death, Thanatos, again, a male. You can take whatever examples you want, you'll see that females protect, females defend, males kill. Even in our language, the core of our culture, we see that males are deadly offensive specimen. We say alpha male, we don't say alpha female. And that's because of something, because alpha male is the leader of the tribe, the one that kills to get the lady. When we talk about female, we don't talk about killing to have the man. We talk about maternal instinct, as my friend will talk about it in a minute. Even in the animals' society.
Point of information?
Yes, please?
Don't you think that their maternal instinct makes them deadly?
Yes, that makes them deadly, but the subject tonight is not if female is deadly. This female is the deadliest of the species. And here, males kill women. In the animal social formation, who's the king in the jungle? Who's the animal so deadly other animals are scared to meet him? Is it the lioness? No. Yes, she kills. Yes, she's deadly. But she's not the deadliest. She kills to feed her children. The lion, it's the lion, the king of the jungle. He kills for power. He kills to frighten all the species. He kills for fun. He's deadly offensive. Ladies and gentlemen, I could give you millions of examples for hours to show you that, evidently, males are deadliest than females. But I think that I killed it as a male. And again, the point has been made for one and only one reason. Males are offensive, females are defensive. Males are the deadliest, not the females. That's why I beg you to reject the government's motion.
Okay, we found out who the first two speakers. Now remember, audience, to stay awake and keep going, or just to join in. You know, you're allowed to say, you're here, you know, if you like what you're saying, or if you want to support your team. Same thing is a shame. Take part, you know, it'll make it a lot more enthusiastic, at least for you. Okay, let's move on to our third speaker for the project.
Dear Mr. Chairman, deadly bell girl, esteemed members of the jury, fellow members of the proposition, respectable audience, members of the opposition, good evening. I would like to come back on some things that have been said by Simon, who told us that women are gentle and that intentions is not deadly. But intentions are not deadly, I agree, but without intentions, how can you kill? It's the beginning. Intention is what leads to action and to killing, and that's what makes women deadly. And you also told us that Clinton's wife didn't kill his career. I think you must relearn your history, because she did kill his career. And that women only want to defend. But they are mainly defensive, not offensive. But one of my best friends, and therefore the woman that I best know, is the strongest, the foxiest, and the most intelligent person I've ever met. And I think she's way more deadly than I would ever be. 1 minute, please. Then you told us the great story of the Beauty and the Beast. Yes, she chose to save him because he wasn't really gentle, he wasn't really beautiful, but he has one asset. He was very, very rich. I don't know if it played a role, but maybe a little bit. So today is the time to be realistic. We are entering the Third World War. But as I will show you, this war has already started a long time ago. And the female side has a lot of good warriors to fight for the death of human species. Yes, go on.
If you're talking about the male side, it means that males are deadly too.
Yes, they are deadly indeed, but they are not the deadliest, because you expect men to be deadly, but you don't expect women, so they can stab you on the back. Here! And also because women are warriors, women are fighters. And you told us about the tribes, and I'm really glad that you did, because this is the point that I'm gonna make. Because have you ever heard about the Amazons? For the ones that don't know, Amazons were an ancient tribe led by women who were all fighters. No, thank you. They were riding their horses, hunting, while men stayed at home. And guess what? They no longer exist. They seem to have killed their own society.
Here.
And more information?
No, thank you. And I would like to quote one of their laws, which is really relevant as far as the deadly side of women is concerned. Indeed, for them, no girl shall wait till she has killed a man in battle.
Here.
So it seems that when women are the ones making laws, they seek to lead us to the death of our species, doesn't it? Yes, go on.
How many are the Amazons? Does it represent the entire population of the world?
Oh, nowadays their numbers is 0 because they've killed their entire society, and that's my point. If today's society are not entirely run by women, that's because they've killed their society. But coming back to the Amazons, if we were to listen to them worldwide nowadays, half of the mankind would be killed So, how is our species supposed to live if one man is killed for each woman to get married? So, even though it is not that obvious that in our society women still have this warrior side, they use it with more subtlety. I know that what you think. Females are fragile. They are physically weaker than men. They are less impulsive. But I can assure you, they are as impulsive and strong as men.
Here, here.
The only thing nowadays is that they don't fight their war by themselves. They use great men, like Antoine told us before, to fight their wars.
Here, here.
So I will ask you only one question. If it is normal for most women to do things that men would never allow themselves to do, like, for instance, slapping men. A man would never slap a woman, but a woman, for women, it's normal to slap a man. So, what is proving us that they won't go any further? Behind this false powerlessness, these fighters are the ones that are the deadliest of species. So, merci pour ce moment, and please accept the motion.
I'd like to bring up our third speaker from the opposition, Cécile.
Finally, true point of view on this subject. Members of the House, members of the government, Mr. Chairman, Ms. Timekeeper, and members of the jury, and all of you audience. I'm here to say what should be obvious by now. Females are not the deadliest species. Males are offensive. Females are defensive. Like it was beautifully stated by my teammates, the perception of the world of males is that they are the deadliest creatures alive. And I know stereotypes are based somehow on facts. It's rooted somewhere. Today, I show how females are in the most raw essence biologically, not the deadliest species. And as a woman, I can assure you I am right. But I digress.
Shame.
Before anything, I must say that I've been here quiet, listening to all your arguments. And hopefully, not offensive to anybody, but I need the field to comment on some of your arguments. For example, just a correction on statistics. Did you know that there are more suicide rates is biggest on women and not male? We kill ourselves more. Wonder why? No, thank you. And now you said about your mother how she was choosing to let you starve to death before you clean your room. Well, I bet your room was kind of disgusting to start off. And I can see you. You're standing here talking healthy. She did not kill you. She would never kill you. She's a mother. She loves you. No, thank you. And you, like a lot of men do, you're overreacting like you did. Thanks. Yes.
Do you mean that no mother ever killed a kid?
Not at all. But they do protect their children. And they kill, that's the exception. You are all here alive. Your mother did not kill you. But, and your girlfriend also, are you comparing your heartbreak with 2 world wars? Millions of deaths. I don't think so. And yes, we do have intention towards that. We can be. And so do men, because they need the intention to kill. But who comes through? Men. Men kill. And fighters, yes, we are fighters. We fight every day to have our rights, to have our money, to have our jobs, to have our space in the society. Things that men try to kill, murder every single day.
Yeah.
And Yeah, you talked about, no thank you. You talk about like slap of men. Yeah, if you slap men, they get red. Between humans, one might be dead. Now let me talk about biology.
Point of information.
Yes.
Have you ever seen a man hitting a woman?
Yes. Okay, I'm from Brazil. Now, let me talk about biology. Females are not here to create, only to create life. We're here to protect life. We don't have only the will, but the need. We're going to protect anything that we love, even if that costs our own lives. That's basic biology. We're built with our hormones. Yes, I said hormones. To leaders who have caring, bond-created, defensive, gentle creatures. No, thank you. We take no pleasure in that, while men go around and kill for pleasure, for power, for no reason at all. Females are gentle creatures, and we can be aggressive in that way. No, thank you. But that protects the one we love. We say about maternal instinct. We can see it in whales, in gorillas, in elephants, and in humans, even though we try to distance ourselves from the animal kingdom. And yes, we can be cruel. And say, like, they can be really cruel to boys, right? Yes, and if we want, if and when, we're gonna make you suffer. Yes, but we are absolutely not going to kill you. Not at all. That's no fun. We're intelligent. We're strategic. We can be manipulative, I admit. But there's no fun in killing someone. It's much more fun to make them suffer. Right? You're gonna make your life miserable. You're gonna spilling around like you drank 6 shots of tequila in a row. Try to understand what did you do to make us do that with you, but you're not gonna find out. And we're not gonna kill you. And I can assure you, because like I said before, I am right. I know. I'm a woman. And to conclude, I say once again, males are offensive, brutal, deadly, and females are defensive, gentle, and caring. I beg you to reject the government's notion. Thank you.
It's nice to hear from a woman, finally. Now I'd like to bring up our 4th speaker from the proposition evening.
Allez, le Mac.
Dear Chairman, Deadliest girl, esteemed member of the jury, members of the opposition, fellow members of the governments, righteous audience, good evening to you all. I would like firstly to come back to one thing that has been said earlier by my fellow colleagues, saying that the alpha male is the leader of the tribe. But let me tell you that during a war, the leader of the tribe is not the ones who kills, it's only the soldiers.
Yeah.
If you understood the whole thing. Yesterday, right when I was about to sleep, somebody talked to me. I heard a big loud voice, "Hey, Miss Bernard." Me worried, I'm like, "Who's that again?" And he told me, "It's God speaking." And I was kind of embarrassing, like, "What's going on, Daddy?" And he said, "Have you finished writing your speech yet?" And I'm like, "Well, not really." He said, "You need to tell them that I gave the greatest powers to women." Then I woke up thinking, like, what does it really mean? And turning my head around, and his voice came back saying, "Sex is the woman's greatest weapon." In fact, it is more destructive than explosive weapons, more vicious than chemical weapons, more consuming than energy weapons.
What information?
How does sex kill? And let's go back to the definition of deadly.
You're just being impassioned. Let me finish, man. A weapon is an is a device used to inflict damage or harm to living beings, structures, and systems. Weapons include anything used to gain a strategic, material, or mental advantage over an adversary. Have you heard of that? Advantage. Guys, let me talk to you 1 second. You're going to follow me on this one. If you ever imagine yourself at the top of a mountain after leaving your girlfriend's house, say here, here. Here, here. If you ever receive an I love you after a long-lasting night, say here, here. Here, here. If you ever waking up in the morning feeling like a sex machine, say here, here. Well, gentlemen, let me tell you that you're not different from James Brown, telling the whole world that he is a sex machine, and he finish up on his knees singing, baby, please don't go. So let me show you a little bit the impact of sex on history and the impacts of women and how they killed a lot of men. There's a saying that behind every great man, there is a great woman. But we all know that behind every great scandal or failure, there is a deadliest species. We all know that story of a rich, famous and powerful man that his career has been killed by a woman with brutality and no way back.
Point of information?
Yes.
You're saying the career is being killed, but killed is not that they didn't die because of it, right?
As it has been said earlier, if you kill a career, you can easily kill a man, especially for the most powerful ones.
Here, here.
The list is countless. Michelle stands behind Obama, Carla stands behind Sarkozy, and Winnie stands behind Mandela, for those who didn't know. Sorry. But wait a second. Nafishatu stands behind Strauss-Kahn. And 100 of women have been standing behind Tiger Woods. Let me tell you, 100 of women. Do I need to tell you the story, or you've heard them all in the news? I believe it's the second option. No, thanks, baby. Let me tell you why we cannot this war. I'm sorry, guys, but we cannot always win. This time, this is not for us. It's to say that the sex weapon is so well handled by women that they succeed to give the impression that we have the power, that we are dominant. And this duality between weakness and dangerousness is the reason why we cannot win this war, gentlemen. After sex, you think that you are giving life as a man. But in some free countries, basically, the woman is the one that has the right to abortion. Meaning that, as has perfectly been said, is the intention that matters. Where comes from the killing is the intention. And she has the only decision to abort or not. Let me tell you just for last words that you should remember in the jungle, when the lion tried to protect the female, she is not in danger. She is the danger. Merci pour ce moment, and please accept this motion.
And now we'll be moving over to the fourth speaker on the opposition and bring up Jeremy.
Members of the House, members of government, Mr. Chairman, elegant and protective Mrs. Timekeeper, and members of the jury, esteemed audience, fellow members of the opposition. Today, we have talked a lot about wars, about killings, about how God talks to one of the members of the government. I have to say, I am tired of all that. And I want to talk about something completely different. I want to talk about the North Pole. And more precisely, about those adorable baby seals you have on the North Pole. You know how they are? They're tiny, they're cute, they're furry, they're dead. They have been killed by you. By you. And, no, not by you, she's a girl. See, males are offensive. And climate change, the man-made climate change, is only one example of how men and males cannot help being destructive, cannot help killing. And I am not talking about murders, just as my colleague Beto has said. I am talking about how males have brought murders and killing at a broader scale. They are killing everybody. No, thank you. They are killing everybody. They are killing us. They are killing you right now at this very moment. And if this wasn't the case, why would the government would have declared, the Third World War against females? They want to kill females the same way as males have ever killed everybody in this world. On the other side, no thank you. On the other side, females are defensive. They are protective. And you have talked about how females are the judges in this society. They are the judges in the court. Well, you should be grateful for that. Because females are the ones who are the best at protecting us. And this is why they hold the power to protect our society. Please.
When a woman commits abortion, can you tell me how does she protect her baby?
She doesn't protect her baby, but when I said she's protective, I don't mean that she's protecting the baby. I mean she's protecting herself. She's protecting her family. Do you think that when you're 16 years old, you would like to have a baby? It's risky for you and your family? No, it's not. No, thank you. See, ladies and gentlemen, females are defensive. They are not deadly. There is no point in comparing the deadliness of females and males, because there is no point in comparing the defensive females with the ones who are killing right now. We are facing our butcher every day, and this butcher is a male. You want some examples? Here are some examples. Among the top criminals of this world, you have the CEO of BP, of Exxon, of Mittal. These guys are all ruthless, savage, and unstoppable gas emitters. Leading this world to death by asphyxiation, to death by overheating. And climate change, no thank you. Climate change is just one example. Look at the nuclear weapon. When Marie Curie discovered radiation, did she want to use it as a weapon? No, because she's a protective and defensive female. She wanted to use it as medical purposes. She wanted to save lives.
Point of information.
Thank you. But males... Yeah, okay, go on.
How can you save life by killing people?
What's your point?
With your abortion.
Okay, seriously. Do you want me to draw you something or whatever? If you kill somebody, if you kill your baby, you protect yourself because you won't have to care about your baby, you will be able to focus on your career, and you will save your own life. Okay, thank you. So, you also have the example of the nuclear weapon. A male turned it into a weapon, into a massive destructing weapon. That is the closest link we have with the end of all humanity. So this is the point. Males are the deadliest, because males are killing us right now, right here. And you know the worst thing? They're not even aware of that. They do not even acknowledge that. Some people right now said this wasn't the case, but it is. This makes them blind killers, and this is even deadlier. This is why I beg you to reject the motion. Thank you.
Thank you very much. And now I'd like to bring up the last speaker for the proposition.
Respectful Chairman, dear jury, lively and electrifying audience, my dear opposition team, welcome. My friends from the government and lovely bell girl, welcome to you all. As my sweet male friends have demonstrated earlier, females are full of surprises. Nicholas proved that the dangerous duality of females should be something to consider carefully. Antoine shared how traumatized he was by females during his early years. Maxime elaborated on female warriors, and MacArthur showed that women were the reasons why men rise so high and then fell so hard?
Here.
Now I'd like to come back on some of the opposition, what they said. Well, Bethel said that 95% of murders and homicides were carried out by men. Yes, well, they are stronger and they kill better. But in a way, this is what we expect from them. We expect them to be scary. Are we expecting women to be destructive? And that is probably what makes them the deadliest, the surprise in their unexpected deeds. Simon, I am very pleased that you only saw beautiful and warming faces in this room and not killers. But, well, honey, appearances are very often misleading. And if you're in life, I suggest you be more careful about what surrounds you, because you might be surprised. And you also talked about the Beauty and the Beast, Disney, Darth Vader, Voldemort. This is fiction. In real life, it's different. Welcome to the Cecilia, you made your point on saying that women only are defensive and protecting their children. But do you mean that men are not ready to do anything to protect their children? You say that men is killing women place in society. Did you know that men created more than 50 laws to give women the same rights? Jeremy, protection, defensive, maternal instinct, we heard it all. But have you seen the way females protect, kill? Have you ever faced an angry woman? The way they kill shows how deadly they are. Yes, please, be my guest.
You say they are deadly, but do they finally kill? Do they just intend to kill?
Oh, well, sometimes they do kill. Mind you, appearances can be greatly misleading. I'm sure that you're not hearing this for the first time. Think about it carefully. Didn't your mom warn you about the misleading of appearances? She certainly knew what she was talking about. You see, no thank you. Women wear masks. We look beautiful, attractive, and irresistible. We sound caring, gentle, and soothing. Everything about us invites you in. But have you ever wondered what happens when the mask falls? Have you ever wondered what is that we are hiding behind those masks? And that is probably a manipulative, hypocritical, and cunning character, which makes us the greatest of predators. I would like to close this debate by sharing an insight of my life with you. I have quite a few girlfriends, which I really love, but sometimes I lie to them. When they wear hideous clothes, I say they look fabulous. When they should be, yes please?
You said you lie to your girlfriends, but does that mean you're the deadliest? That you have the intention to kill?
But that means that behind all you see, there is another face, which is unpredictable, and which might lead to destructive deeds. When they show me pictures of their crush, I say they are to die for, when what I really think is, are you blind or what? However, when one of them gets on my nerves, which happens sometimes, I talk behind them back. I start gossiping, and then, the minute they show up, I smile at their face. The worst is when I see a pretty girl. I get so jealous that I instantly despise her. I criticize everything, from their hair, the makeup, their way they behave, the way they dress, and when in reality, they look perfect to me. Any girl recognizes what I say. I'm not the only one here who thinks the same, this way. The point is, we're not only deadly to males, we're also deadly to females, which brings this whole debate to an ultimate level. And as our Prime Minister said, and announced the Third World War, it has begun, and may the odds be in your favor. And therefore, there's no doubt, females are the deadliest. Merci pour ce moment.
Thank you very much, Divya, and with that speech, that closes the proposition side. I'd now like to bring up the last speaker.
members of the House, members of the government, distinguished comrades of the opposition, beautiful timekeeper, members of the jury, wonderful audience, good evening. I have to admit something to you. I am here in front of you with the terrible task of ending this debate in quite a difficult position. Indeed, listening to you, members of the House, I remembered in a blissful fascination and a certain nostalgia the days when, as a 12-year-old, I shivered and dreaded every time I had to speak to a pretty girl. So, I find myself in this terrible, terrible state of having to agree with you. Yes, females are scary. Females scared me because I'm no Simon Pierre and they're still scared today. Yes, females are frightful. Yes, females are downright terrifying. But are they deadly? Certainly not, and that is what this debate has clearly shown. Males are the deadly gender, and females are defensive and protective. This debate has been about three main things, and on all three the government has lost. Those three are first, the intrinsic nature of males and females, and who has the mean, who is more likely to kill, basically who can kill. Secondly, the reason for killing, who has motive, who has more reason for killing. And finally, beyond this potential and motive, the third subject of all this, of all this violence, of all this killing, of all this bloodshed, are the victims, the action, who has been actually killed, what is being killed right now. And on those 3 points, the opposition has won. On the intrinsic character of males and females, who is both biologically and culturally deadlier, a lot has been said. The government has, for example, mentioned tactics, tricks, they've mentioned sex as a weapon. Come on, man up! The opposition has correctly pointed out that 95% of homicides are done by males. All wars, all dictatorships were started by males. Males are biologically programmed to kill. Being more muscular, come on, look at it there. Yes, really deadly. Males are more violent, they're less able to think things through. They are beer-drinking, fist-pumping killing machines. Yeah. But in addition to this, and that is what Simon has brilliantly told you, males are culturally dominating the world. They still are, even if there is progress. And they can be deadlier than any female could ever be. The second main topic on which the government has again lost is to explain why do males or females kill? Is there a motive behind all this killing? Indeed, if someone is always struck in the same way, but is very predictable, it's dangerous for sure, but it's not deadly. So the government has mentioned, for example, female coming for divorces, they manipulate, they protect, but everything that females do can be summed up in one word. Protection, and that comes back to the sex as well. So, females...
So you agree that female is ready for everything to protect herself and kill other people?
All this, the question is deadliest, so all this comes for protection, I'm going to explain that. So females protect their children, they protect their friends, they protect themselves by marrying with a rich guy, by getting a divorce. They're not threatening life, they're defending it, they're defending even their own life. How can they possibly be deadlier? No, thank you. The opposition has shown, on the other hand, how unpredictable and crazy man can be. Males kill for power, they kill for money, no thank you, they kill for sex, they kill for fun, they kill out of impulse, they kill for any reason, and they are unpredictable as things can be. So they have both the means and the motive for killing more than the females. Finally, the last topic that has been discussed here are the victims, because behind every killing there is a grieving mother, there is a grieving father, there is a grieving family and a grieving friends. So, who has killed more, males or females? The government has shown that women, they've come back to Greek mythology, they've come back to divorces, they've come back to tactics, tricks, great women behind every great man, they've come back to careers being destroyed. But on this final point, once again, the opposition has won. Bethel, for example, has given you a snapshot of how many victims have been killed by males over the course of history. Jeremy has brilliantly pointed out that the victims of male outrage and killing instincts are way broader than merely living beings. Males have killed the entire planet with climate change, with inventions, with nuclear weapons, and they've killed all the possible baby seals that could have been. So, because of invention and domination, males are way deadlier. So for all those reasons, the three reasons on which the government has lost and the opposition has won, the position of the House is untenable, and I beg you to reject the government's motion, because if you let us, we might very well kill each other apart, since we mostly males around this table.
Last speech that terminates this debate. I'm going to ask the jury to please go next door to deliberate. Maybe somebody will be able to bring you some refreshments as they're deciding.
So, it is with a sad and heavy heart that we have to make a choice between two exceptional teams. So what did we love about you? You know what happens after we say what we loved about you, right?
You kiss us?
Then you tell the truth.
No. So teamwork. Teamwork between the two was beautiful. Lots of cohesion, lots of support, and listening to each other, building on each other's arguments. Loved it. Humor. We were extremely entertained. For this, we are very grateful to you. You had, I think what was really cool was that a lot of you managed to sort of own this place here, own this space, and create some kind of freedom inside yourselves, where you were able to express. It wasn't just wasn't just a prepared humor, but it was all, you were release your own personal humor, which made it so much more effective. So both in the preparation of your speech and in your, occasionally ironic personal comebacks, you completely released it. So that was good, and that also feeds on to the other thing that we loved, which is there were some very, very charismatic people. And you're going to go on there, and perhaps I'll see you challenging Sarkozy's son. Perhaps he'll have a singing career, we don't know. Yeah, we were entertained, we were captivated. We were saying that it's, like you can tell the difference when somebody's captivating or not, because when you're not captivated, you're just writing notes, and quite a few times I had to put my pen down and look at you, because you somehow attracted us. So it was really, really hard to make a decision. And we helped ourselves by having like little marks. The marks are very, very close. What made the difference? Core line. So the strategy, or what's written on the paper as a strategy. There was one line that was more consistent than the other. One line that was more integrated than the other. And there was one line that showed more imagination and creativity in the logic. And the second thing that made the difference was the ping pong. Bang, bang, bang. Of course, it's a debate, as Mr. Bradford. But you're an expert in this, right?
Oh, absolutely, world renowned, yes.
Yeah, world renowned. Look at him, cherish him, admire his beauty. So I'm from Oxford. We've got, everybody gets trained in debate in Oxford, so yeah, you have to adapt. You have to rebound. You have to use your wit. There's some point where you have to sort of trust yourself. Trust yourself to. And there were a couple of you who had a kind of attitude which was bring it. You know this? Bring it. Come to Papa or come to Mama. come to Mama, bring it, and bang bang. So that, and there were slight differences between the two. You all researched it in a very amusing and imaginative way, so we loved the kind of the way you put the research on the table. But there's one thing you've got to think about in your research, which is you have to go right away from the logic of academic or exposition logic. So sometimes, one of the things that let one of the teams down was that you were outlining facts as opposed to taking one little figure, one little fact, one little anecdote, one little thing, and just using it to enhance or to empower your killer line. So just think about that. It's not research for research's sake. It's research as an instrument to deliver the power of your logic. Should I say more?
I'm begging for the answer.
Do you want a drum roll, guys?
Let's be right on. Let a woman announce it. Oh, power to the sisters.
I'm the deadliest,
Yeah.
so we went for the proposition.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much, we'll be closing the doors around 10 o'clock, so please do finish what is left here. You'd like to do with our esteemed